Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where we talk about the things we love like gaming, shows, and anime. Halloween is one of the best times of the year, and these games aren't the usual games you'll see on everyone's lists. These are my personal favorite that I recommend. So there's a chance that you haven't tried these yet because most of them are on portable games. Growing up I preferred playing portable games rather than console games. So the good thing about that is that I can now make a list of games not many players bothered to mention. This list will mainly contain portable games like on the PSP and on the Nintendo DS, but that's because these games are very underrated and I only want to recommend games you probably haven't tried. I mean, why show you games I know you already know about, right? Now without any more delays, let's begin. Number 10, Aliens Infestation. Aliens Infestation is only on the Nintendo DS, but that doesn't matter because it is 10 times better than the Aliens Colonial Marines game that bombed. And in fact, you could consider this the real Colonial Marines that we should have gotten. Now, even though it's on the DS, the production team really put some thought into the game and the Alien franchise because they got everything spot on to the xenomorphs, the crew members, the weapons, the sound effects. I mean, if you play the game, you're gonna get that James Cameron's Aliens vibe, which is perfect because that's the best Aliens movie so far, in my opinion. Now to sum it, the gameplay is like the Metroidvania style, and the dual screen works great in this game. You got a map, flashlight, weapons, and even a welding tool to help you proceed through sticky situations. The combat in this game is amazing. You can use every weapon from the Aliens movies, including the friggin' power loader. Even though this game has that Metroidvania style, it still has its frightening moments. Put on some earphones and I bet you that you're gonna jump. Number 9, Thrill Kill. Thrill Kill came out for the PlayStation 1, but I can't really say it came out when the game never officially came out because it was cancelled for being too graphic. The plot of the game is 10 damned souls have died and descended into hell. They are then brought back to life in a fucking tournament to compete, and the winner will be given the prize of being reincarnated. How fucking hardcore is that? The gameplay is like a 4-player WrestleMania game, and you can even pull off fatalities. And this game can still be played if you play the ROM on your PC or hacked PlayStation. Number 8, Zombie Panic in Wonderland. This game is freaking wonderful. I loved it from the start. I love the concept of the game. I love that we got zombies taking over Wonderland. I love this. Having a story we all grew up to love being taken into a zombie outbreak, that's always genius. Putting zombies in a fictional story we read as a kid, it's gonna hit both nostalgic fans and zombie fans. So other than Alice being a playable character, we also got Snow White, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, and Little Red Riding Hood. Now the version of the game that I played was the DX version. I played it on the 3DS. You won't find it in stores because you have to download it off the Nintendo shop. It's pretty cheap, so don't worry about the cost. Oh, and the gameplay, first of all, you have to play this game on 3DS and turn the 3D mode on, but don't turn it all the way up because the 3D effect looks very fuzzy, so turn the 3D only halfway and it'll look great. Normally I wouldn't recommend to have the 3D turned on, but this game is just one of those games you must have the 3D mode turned on halfway because it feels like you're playing a game from the arcades. The sound effects are great, the destruction is fun, the controls are simple, but they do need to add a lefty controller style, or at least let the player make up their own controller commands because I'm lefty and I could see a difference. Also, the game is rather short and it can be completed like a standard arcade shoot 'em up time, but it's like a roller coaster. It's quick and it's only for a short time, but you'll love it from beginning to end. Number 7, Little Red Riding Hood Zombie Barbecue. Just like Zombie Panic in Wonderland, Little Red Riding Hood is a marvelous game with so much blood. The game is just as good as Zombie Panic in Wonderland, and it has 2 characters that are in the same game, which is Momotaro and of course Little Red Riding Hood. The creatures you go up against are zombified versions of fairy tale characters like Pinocchio and the 3 Little Pigs. It's fucking insane how these characters look like in the game. The gameplay is a point and shoot game. You can use the stylus pen to shoot, just like in Zombie Panic in Wonderland. If you haven't yet played this game and you own a Nintendo DS or 3DS, buy it the next time you see it. You won't be disappointed. Number 6, Undead Knights. This game is a must-have for zombie lovers and metalheads because it's fucking amazing. The game's music is so fucking hardcore, and even though it constantly repeats itself through each level, it still kicks ass. But you could always turn the music off and play your own shit. But anyways, the game is about 3 knights who get slaughtered under the orders of the king and his wife. Luckily, the 3 knights make a bargain with an unseen demon known as the Beast to give them a second chance at life as necromancers with the ability to turn living enemies into their own personal undead soldiers. The game does get repetitive, but I feel like this game is like the Metalocalypse game we never got. It's just so badass and you gotta try it out. It's only for the PSP, but you could play it with a friend as well since the game features multiplayer. Also, I'm pretty sure it's available on the PlayStation Network. Number 5. Dementium. Dementium is a game series you must try out. It's so much fun and it's scary as hell. The first game is called Dementium: The Ward, but it later got remastered for the Nintendo 3DS, but only available online on the Nintendo shop called Dementium Remastered. Now, I recommend players to try out both games, the first and the sequel, because there is a sequel as well, and they're both equally great. They're perfect to try out during Halloween, and here's a little description of the story. You play as William Redmore, a man who has an operation on his brain. The doctor realized that the mind of William is in danger, so he made nightmare dreams where he must fight back to the end and get out of his dreams. The style of the game is like playing a first-person shooter like Doom 3, and just as the developers first had in mind, the game has a Silent Hill feel to it. It was originally going to be a Silent Hill game. And if you think games on the portable devices couldn't be scary, then you haven't tried the Dementium series for the Nintendo DS or 3DS if you only want to try out the remastered version of the first one. So give the game a shot and see if you can get through all the puzzles, the enemies, and your own nightmares. Number 4. Carnival. I'm sure some of you that are at least over the age of 21 remember this game as one of the most epic and scary arcade shooters in your local county fair. Carnival is about a group of people who are going on a spooky hayride tour through the Greeley Valley Cemetery, courtesy of the local ghost expert known as Spooky Sam. Then our protagonist leaves the tour and approaches a tombstone that has a golden coin sitting in its slot and a coin insert that's in a jester's mouth. The protagonist takes the coin and inserts it in the mouth, and this is where the game begins. Or should I say, the nightmare begins. As a kid, my imagination went wild, and when you think clowns are already scary, you're gonna get some major chills from these baddies. If you're ever lucky and you happen to see this game at your local bowling alley or wherever arcade shooters are nowadays, you gotta try it out, especially for Halloween. Number 3. Resident Evil DS. Resident Evil DS is a port version of the original Resident Evil 1 game. It is by far my personal favorite version of the original Resident Evil game, and at the moment I am working on a specific list for that game alone because it's that good. The most I can say about this game in this video is that you get to play the first Resident Evil game with some extra features that you like from the sequels. This port version of the game actually adds a lot more than you'd expect. I highly recommend players to try this game out. You will not be disappointed. Number 2. Touch the Dead. If you look back at zombies during the PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64 days, you'll notice that zombies in those old polygon graphics somehow look scarier than today's zombies. Something about it just makes them look terrifying, and Touch the Dead has these kinds of graphics, and the game was released for the Nintendo DS only. The gameplay is like an arcade shooter on the DS, and holy shit do these zombies look terrifying. This game is fucking creepy. The beauty about this game is that you can actually play with 2 players like in the arcades. It's still scary even with a partner. So if you like classic arcade shooters and would love to play one at home or anywhere you want, I suggest you get this game. And grab a copy of the game as well because 2 players is a lot of fun. Number 1. Obscure the Aftermath. This game is actually a sequel, and till today I haven't been able to play the first game because it came out for the Nintendo Wii and I never bought a Wii, so that was it. But anyways, if the first game is just as good as Obscure the Aftermath, then I might have to buy myself a Nintendo Wii because this game is amazing. I have no idea why people don't talk about this game. Well, to be honest, I have seen some video reviews on the game, but the most complaints are about the voice acting, which to me it never bothered me. In fact, I thought it was spot on with the acting in most Hollywood horror movies. The story is about the surviving characters from the previous game who are now enrolled in the nearby Fall Creek University where strange and bizarre things start to happen. A new drug is created from a strange flower and it quickly spreads all over the university, infecting every student in the area. The main characters have to fight their way out of there and work together to survive. You can actually play this game with a friend who can join in at any time during the game. You'll have a partner with you most of the time, and it'll either be the CPU or a friend who joins in. The CPU is not at all terrible in the game. Most CPUs are terrible, but this game, I didn't have any problems with it at all. And in fact, if you ever do think there's a problem, you could always switch players at any time in case you want your partner to do something else. One of the strong suits of the game is the soundtrack though. It is beautiful. Every track feeds to the situation you're in, and the gameplay works great as well. I really can't find anything bad about this game. Fuck the reviews for this game. I highly recommend players who haven't tried it to try it out. This game is available on the PSP, the PS2, and the Wii, and the PC as well. I played it on the PSP and loved it ever since. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, please leave a thumbs up, especially since YouTube is screwing over this channel, and a thumbs up is what makes YouTube look the other way. Share and subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget to click on the little bell icon next to the subscribe button to notify you of every new video that gets uploaded to the channel. Also follow me on Twitter and Facebook to find out which videos are up next and whatever random posts I make. But anyways, I'll see you on the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.